Register is an important element of project. So when you identify the risk, you assign a risk owner and he implement a risk response. Now, a question comes, where is the list of risk owner placed? Risk register. Not any other document. The risk register, even it acts as an input to making the risk register process. It has the potential risk owner and it will give us who potentially can be owner. If there's another document you can get help, RESI can help you, but risk register is the primary document. Secondly, a very misconception that happens, people think a risk has been identified and now a trigger happen and you implement a risk response. You need to update issue log. No. If you identify risk, if your response was according to the plan, you do not need to update issue log. You need to update risk register. And then you also need to update the same risk register with residual risk as well as if there is any secondary risk. Because that's an important thing. In organizations, when we do the risk analysis, the purpose of risk register is to handle the potential problems and take proactive action. Whereas issue log is a reactive document, something you did not plan for, something that you do not have any solution, and now you identify how we can do that. So that's an important distinction. If a risk is planned, you set a contingency reserves for it, and now it is happening. You do not need any kind of change request. You already planned for it. You already put aside money for it. If I like to take an example of that, let's say this is my car, this one. Okay, so let's say it has one tire and that tire has any problem. I don't need to call AAA to ask them to help me. No, I open my diggy, I take out the tire, replace the tire, end of story. But because that is already planned, a trigger has happened, I need to implement the risk response, right? The plan is there. But let's say if two tires burst, now that's a problem. That was not the part of the plan. That is not budgeted. For that, I need to raise a change request. I need to implement a response. I hope that makes sense to you and that helps you. That's my one video for you, and this is greater than zero. Keep moving forward and remember, one is greater than zero. Something you do is more important than just thinking about it. I hope that works.